Now, let's start our programming part. Well, there are 4 basic things in programming. 1. Create your file. 2. Write your code. 3. Save your code. And finally, run your code. So, let's start our coding with Hello World. Yeah, you know what? There is a tradition in programming that every programming language starts with a Hello World program. Let's start with C. So coming to the C language, what is the basic structure of C? There are 5 basic sections. They are documentation section, where you can write the description of your program. 2. Link section, where you link all your header files. 3. Global declaration section. Here you can declare a variable globally if needed. Well, a variable is nothing but a name given to store that our program can manipulate, and a global variable is available for use throughout your entire program. 4th one, main function section. Here main is an inbuilt function and the main is called by OS, where it is the designated entry point of a program. Last one, subprogramming section. Nothing but writing another function if you want to use. Among these, documentation section, global declaration section, and subprogramming sections are optional. So, first save the file. Every programming language has its own extensions. C language has .c extension. So, save it as .c. I saved it as helloworld.c. The first line in hello world is #include stdio.h, which means hash is a preprocessor that includes standard input-output header files which has basic built-in functions like printf, scanf, etc. Next one was int main, which is a inbuilt function. Well, functions are 2 types. 1. Inbuilt function, 2. User-defined function. This is the syntax of a function. By the way, main cannot have arguments, and it is the starting point as I said before. Now a function or a loop or a conditional statement start and end with the curly braces. Loops and conditional statements, we are going to learn about them in our next videos. So next one is to print. So for printing, we use inbuilt function printf, and every statement ends with a semicolon, which is a terminator, and then a return statement. And now see, we got our output in the terminal. Hello world. And now C++. Create your new file with .cpp extension, and I created my file as helloworld.cpp. Now, what is the difference between C and C++? The main difference between C and C++ is C++ supports both object-oriented and procedural programming, but C supports only procedural programming. Now coming to the program, the first line is #include iostream. Well, iostream is the header that defines the standard input-output string object. Next, using namespace std. What is namespace? A namespace is a declarative region that provides scope to the identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but the names of the functions or variables, and then the main, as same in C language. Next, to print, we use cout. Cout is an object where it uses stream insertion operator, which helps to display, and then return statement, and our program is done. Now save your code and then run your code. See, we got our output. Next, coming to the Java. Java is an object-oriented programming language, but not pure. It is a platform-independent language. Everything in Java is in the form of classes and objects. Create your new file with .java extension. One main thing we have to remember in the Java, that the file name and the class name having main should be same. I saved my file as helloworld.java. So my class name must be hello world. So public class hello world. Here public is the access specifier. There are 4 types of access specifiers. 1. Private. It is used to access within the class. 2. Default. Used when no access specifiers is called. 3. Protected. And this cannot be applied to class and interfaces. And finally public. This is accessible from any class, and main class must be always public. And then next line is public static void main string args. This represents it is a main, where static here defines that the method is directly called by the class name without creating the object, and the void represents it is a return type. We use string args because Java accepts only string type of argument. In string args, S should be capital because Java is a case-sensitive language. Next, to print we use system.out.println. Again here S is capital. System here is the final class defined in the Java. Out is an instance of print string, which is a public and static member field of the system class. ln defines new line, and then next return statement. Now save your code and run your code. We got our output. Now next Python. Python supports both object-oriented and procedural programming. You know what? If you know English well, then you can easily learn Python. Now create your file with .py extension. I created my file as helloworld.py. In Python, you just need to write one line of code to display hello world. That is print hello world. That's it. Now save your code and run your code. We got our output. Now coming to the Haskell and Clojure, these two are purely based on functional programming. We need to have math skills to get easily through it. Coming to Haskell, create your new file with .hs extension. I saved my file as helloworld.hs. First line is an optional type annotation indicating that main is a value of type IO. IO is representing input-output action, and then next put strlen, which helps us to display our hello world. Now save your code and then run your code. We got our output in the terminal. Now finally coming to the Clojure, create your file with .clj extension. You know what? Everything and even every single line in Clojure starts with a open small brace and closes with a closing brace. Coming to the code, defn is used to define a function. Println is used to display our hello world. And finally function call to get our hello world to display. Now save it and then run it. We got our output. Now we are done with hello world in 6 different languages. Let's catch up with another problem statement in our next video.